Hey everyone, welcome to weeks 6 and 7 of my Starch Solution journey. I have combined the last 2 weeks because it was so busy, I barely got any videos in. But in this week's video, I'm showing you how I use a food processor to help me food prep. And also, I think I'm starting a new series called Cook With Me, maybe. If you guys like this video, you'll have to let me know below. But I'm making a recipe from Shane and Simple, a chickpea buffalo sauce cauliflower veggie casserole thingamajig, and it is really delicious. So come along and find out about those things and see what's happened over the last 2 weeks. I am at the grocery store. I have been out of town the last 5 days back in Washington visiting my mom. And I have to tell you, week 5, which was last week, I didn't do a lot of filming and I ate the best I could with Starch Solution. I would bet 70% of the time I was eating Starch Solution. And then we went up to see my sister. She makes fabulous cookies. I am linking her website and Instagram below. If you live in Washington State, you should get in touch with her about her cookies. They're so good. So of course I'm like gonna eat my sister's cookies, right? They're not vegan, but they are delicious. And so I had a couple of cookies last week. My mom and I went out to eat, and while I did have I guess you could say a vegan meal, I did have fries, and we went to another restaurant back there that I love, and they make homemade potato chips. And you guys, they fry their chips in this butter. And so they were not vegan or plant-based, but they were delicious nonetheless. And I only ate a few. And I drank wine. So it wasn't the best week as far as being compliant with Starch Solution, but I did have a really great time with my mom. And so I'm not too worried about it. I came home, I got on the scale, I was up to 3 pounds. So that's all inflammation and water weight, which should come off in the next week. So this is the great thing about eating this way. You can go off plan and not worry about it, which also most days I fasted 14 hours, I would say. So I felt like I was giving my body a break from eating. I also was eating mostly nutritious food with some, fun things in between. I was on a trip visiting my mom. So I was going to do that, and that's what I love. And now I'm home, week 6 now, and halfway through the program, and come along and see how this week goes. This is the first day of week 6. So this is the beginning. So I'm excited. All right, I am doing some food prepping because I went to the grocery store several days ago and bought a bunch of veggies, and then have been super busy and have not had time to prep. So a lot of my veggies are starting to go bad. So I need to cut everything up, wash it, and then I'll also be a little bit more prepared this week. I feel like the last week I wasn't really eating as well as I could have because I just wasn't prepared, which is why food prepping is so important for me and the way that I eat. All right, so I am prepping my asparagus. I have it all washed and trimmed, and I'm soaking some leeks to get all the dirt out. I think I'm gonna make a soup because I have this cauliflower, 2 heads of cauliflower I'm going to cut up and probably make a cauliflower leek soup. And then I have some carrots that I'm going to put in my food processor and shred and put on salads and just on top of everything for added fluff. I don't even really know how to cut cauliflower. I usually buy it in the bag, but I was trying to be price conscious, so I bought 2 whole ones. So I just cut off the end there, and then I guess I'm just going to cut them like this into steaks, and then I'll just chop it like this. I'm just gonna put it all in the pot anyway to make my soup. One of the things that holds me back from prepping cauliflower or broccoli from the head and not just prepackaged in a bag is the mess that it makes. You get all these little things all over the place. So I have a big cutting board, and now I just cut them and then carry this huge cutting board over to the sink and wash it off, and it doesn't seem to be that big of a deal. I don't know if it's just I'm used to making it all the time now or what, but that was one thing that held me back. So if that bothers you, buy pre-bagged or frozen cauliflower or broccoli. All right, I have my food processor out. I bring my food processor out and I'm going to batch chop stuff. So if I have a lot of stuff, I'm going to do, because I hate getting appliances out and I also hate cleaning them and I'm really lazy. But this food processor, when you eat a lot of veggies, is totally worth it. I have the Cuisinart brand. I just got it for Christmas and I was tired of hand chopping everything, and as try as I might, I could never get julienne or whatever veggies to look the way I wanted them to. So this is perfect. So I wash my carrots, I leave the skin on, top off the chops, and then I shred them in here. And then I have shredded carrots all week. I put on salads, sandwiches, wraps. I just put them underneath other veggies for added fluff. So this is a really great thing to do if you get tired of chopping veggies. Get a food processor. All right, so my son is at work. My daughter just went ice skating and it's dinner time. And so I'm just gonna cook my husband and I dinner tonight. My kids are gonna have leftovers when they get home. And tonight I'm gonna make a recipe from Shane & Simple. If you do not follow him, his recipes on Pinterest, I don't follow him on Instagram. I should check that out. But on Pinterest, he has great recipes. So tonight I'm gonna make his recipe. It's like cauliflower, chickpeas, in like a buffalo sauce. It's like a casserole, but I'm gonna change it up a little bit and add farro instead of brown rice. And I'm gonna add some tofu with it. And then I'm gonna make a big batch of broccoli on the side. So here we go. Let's make it for dinner. I'm getting all of my ingredients together, and one of the cool things I learned in the Forks Over Knives cooking school, which is probably maybe obvious to a lot of people, but I am a lazy cook and I make a huge mess when I cook. Maybe you're the same, but is to prepare your mise en place. And so I don't think I'm saying that right. I never say it right, but it's basically to get all your ingredients together and laid out, so then when you cook, you can just dump everything in. And I'm getting better at doing this. I am not the best because I'm always in such a hurry, but it really does make cooking a lot easier. So I found these little dishes at Whole Foods, but then I saw them on Amazon. So I will get them linked up in the description below. They're great. I also put pumpkin in them for my cat. But they are really great to just put little ingredients in when you're preparing your dish. This recipe calls for a vegetable broth, and I don't have any. I just keep this better than bouillon on hand. This is the one I got at Costco. It's reduced sodium. The only place I've seen it reduced sodium is at Costco. Let me know below if you have seen it somewhere else. But this is a huge jar, but I love this. You would add this to soups, everything. It makes everything taste so good. So I highly recommend getting it. This low sodium one is the one to get though, because it still has 350 milligrams of sodium. I think their regular one has like 800 or something. So that's probably why it tastes so good. But I just added about 2 tablespoons to it. I'm gonna add 2.5 cups water. I have no idea if that's good for ratio or not, but I really like the way that this tastes, so I always add a little bit more than it says on the directions. All right, one of the things I use almost every day in my kitchen is this little whisk. Now, I am by no means like some great chef or anything like that, but I love this little whisk. I use it for everything. I'm just mixing up this. It's great for coffee. It's great for when you just need to mix something up really quick and you don't want to have to get out a huge whisk. I got like a pack of 15 of these on Amazon. I can link them below if you're interested. I put them in stockings for Christmas one year. So that was really fun. So these are great to have on. Now, I don't like stuff super spicy, and I also just ran out of this red Frank's hot sauce. So it calls for 1 cup, but I am just gonna use a 1/2 cup, and I'll just add more broth if I need to. I bought this onion powder today because I ran out, and I'm telling you what, I just opened it up. Because I live at such high altitude, every time I open a spice jar or anything like this, the stuff just like sprays everywhere. So now it's like all over the place. I have to clean it up, and I just cleaned my kitchen. It really irritates me. Anyway, this calls for 1 teaspoon garlic powder and 1 teaspoon onion powder. I'm just gonna put this in there, and that's gonna taste good. I'm not a huge fan of garlic powder. I usually just use fresh garlic, but I'm using garlic powder tonight. And I like these measuring spoons because they actually fit in the spice jar. I'll show you like this. This is my favorite set of measuring spoons because they're all tied together. But like the 1 teaspoon, okay, well, of course, now it fits in this one. But in some of them, it doesn't fit. Okay. I'm sure you've had my struggle, right? Okay, so I got these other ones. That didn't really work out, but there you go, right? Okay. All right, so I've got my onion powder and garlic powder, and then I drained and rinsed my chickpeas. I've got my nutritional yeast in a jar, my hot sauce, my bouillon, my wine, and now I need 2 ribs of celery, but I am out of celery, so I'm gonna use some chopped zucchini that I have, and 1 cup of brown rice. And I don't have brown rice, so I'm gonna use farro. If you haven't tried farro, it's really, really good. You just have to rinse it, but it cooks really fast. And I really like it. It's kind of like a nutty, it's a fuller kind of flavor. I am not a fan of brown rice. I do not eat it. I only eat white rice, wild rice, basmati rice. I don't like brown rice. So it's okay if you don't like brown rice, okay? It's okay. All right, so I'm gonna get all this stuff ready, and then it looks like we just put it all in the casserole dish. All right, I did forget that I needed to add cornstarch. So it's 1 tablespoon cornstarch to 3 tablespoons water. And I, of course, just spilled that everywhere. My clean kitchen. All right, so I'm gonna run and grab 3 tablespoons of water. Right, this is another great way that you can use your whisk, right? And if you don't want to use cornstarch, it doesn't say it here, but I'm sure it's fine to use like arrowroot or tapioca. I would think that would be fine. But I'm not the recipe creator, so don't hold me to it. But I switch those out a lot of times. But I just keep cornstarch in this little jar and use it. Okay, so now I have all my things, and I need to add the vegetable broth. But you can see my cook's not very organized. Buffalo sauce, okay. So I'm just adding it to this. My setup's not very good here today. That, and I'm gonna add the nutritional yeast. Okay, if you don't know what nutritional yeast is, it's not like baking yeast, okay? It's like a cheesy flavor. It's really, really good. I'll show you. They're awesome to just put on top of veggies. And this nacho one's really good. And this is my favorite, this dill and vinegar. So you can put it on everything. It makes everything taste so good. I love it. It's got B vitamins in it too, which is really good. Okay, garlic powder and onion powder. Okay, so I'm gonna add that and whisk everything until combined. So I'm just gonna use this little whisk because that's what I have. I'm trying to like get in the frame. It's not very easy. Okay, whisk until it's combined. All right, and now we're gonna add the cornstarch. All right, so we're whisking that all together. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I'm gonna set this aside now. That's what it says. Okay, spread the chickpeas in the bottom of a 9x13 casserole. Am I supposed to grease it? Doesn't say I'm supposed to grease it, but you know what? I think I will because I don't use a lot of oil, and I'll show you what I do. All right, so I got this casserole pan at Williams-Sonoma. We have an outlet here, which is awesome. So it was like 20 bucks, if that. I love it. So I spray my oil. I use this pan, use whatever you have. I don't use it very often. And then I just take a paper towel and I just kind of rub it around. I don't know. I guess sometimes I just don't have a lot of extra. Okay, so then spread the chickpeas. Okay, so I'm gonna put the chickpeas in the pan. Okay, well, you can't even see that, but you know what I mean, right? There it is. Okay, so I'm spread them in the pan. Okay, and then top with cauliflower and celery. So I have my cauliflower that I prepped when I did my food prepping the other day, which is why it's nice to food prep. Okay, and they're bigger pieces, so I'm just gonna break them off. You know, I was not like a huge fan of cauliflower until I started eating this way. And I always tried like cauliflower mashed potatoes. Okay, those are gross. Let's just all agree right now, like just have regular potatoes, okay? But if you like them, that's awesome. I do not. I do use cauliflower rice in my oatmeal. That's a great hack. You can, I'm a volume eater, so I love to eat. I like to have a lot to eat. It takes a lot to fill me up. And so I put half cup oatmeal with 1 cup cauliflower rice. And then in my group I learned how to add additional water. So instead of like, you know, it's like a 1-to-1 ratio, I put 5 cups of water into that, and it takes a little bit longer to cook. And I have tried around in my any day dish and on the cooktop, and I think it cooks a lot easier on the cooktop. It just seems to steam a lot better. So I do it that way, and then just let it sit for like 10 minutes, and you'll think there's no way that this is gonna soak up. And it does, and it's so good. I haven't had oatmeal in a while. I might have it tomorrow. I just put cauliflower all over my floor. Okay. All right, so I think that's enough cauliflower. So it looks like this, right? Okay. And I'm gonna grab my zucchini, so I'll be right back. All right, I'm back from the fridge, and I have my zucchini that was already prepped from my food prep day, which again is why you should food prep, because I would not be chopping zucchini right now. So I don't know, it's about a cup and a quarter. So I'm just gonna put that in here. One thing I've learned with recipes is I just take it as a suggestion and then do whatever. I also have some asparagus that's gonna go bad that I've chopped up. It's kind of big spears. I'm just gonna throw that in, because why not? My husband and I will eat all these veggies, and the kids are having pizza or some thing like that. So I'll listen to them complain. Okay, so this is what it looks like. All right, so now it says, use a wooden spoon if needed to make sure, hold on. Evenly sprinkle the uncooked brown rice on top of everything. Okay, so let me get my farro. Okay, I rinsed it. You have to rinse it. I know it's kind of a hassle, but just do it, okay? All right, so I'm just gonna sprinkle this over. This looks good. I don't make a lot of casseroles. Are you a casserole person? Tell me. Tell me below. Tell me, like, what's your favorite casserole? My mom was not a casserole person. So we didn't have a lot of casseroles growing up. The one casserole I refuse to eat is green bean casserole. I think that's totally nasty. And if you like it, you are weird. Okay. All right, so I have this on here. Okay, now it says pour the buffalo sauce. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a quick stir, and I'm gonna pour it over. This is kind of fun, like doing this and talking to you. Nobody's home, so I'm just like talking to the camera, and it's kind of fun. Okay, I've been in a good mood today. I've had a really good day. I like got up at 5. My new thing is to get up at 5 and work on my videos and my Instagram and stuff like that. My website, which is atrocious. I'm trying to fix it up. And I'm trying to get like an Amazon store going. And I really was like against doing an Amazon store because I really like to just refer products. I think sometimes when you're like referring them and getting a commission, it's like, do they really like it? I don't know. But I thought, well, everyone else is doing it, so I guess I'll try it. So let me know if you like the products I recommend. If there are only stuff that I use, I will not recommend anything I don't use, okay? So you can know that. But anyways, it's kind of fun. Okay, so I put the sauce over, and then I'm gonna cover it with foil and bake for an hour. So I'm gonna get it in the oven. I'm gonna prep my broccoli, clean up the kitchen, clean up this mess that I made on my nice clean floor, and then I will be back to show you what happened. All right, you guys, I realized I forgot to add the tofu. So I'm going to air fry that separately. So I normally press my tofu in a tofu press. I'll show you, where is my tofu press? Right here. Okay, so it's this contraption, and you basically put it in here with this, and then this top goes over, and then it presses all the liquid out of the tofu, and that just makes it more sturdy and firmer tasting. But I usually do that and then leave it in the fridge overnight. One other tip I learned is to freeze your tofu, and I tried that, and oh my gosh, if you are making, in my last video I made the Shane and Simple, he's so good, the buffalo tofu chicken strip thing, like chicken strip things, and the texture was really like chicken. I screwed up on the coating. It was better before I put the buffalo sauce on, then they got a little soggy, but when they just had the breading on them or air fried, oh my God, they were so good. I'm totally making those again. We should make those together, but that would be fun. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh, so I didn't use my tofu press. It's right here. I'm losing my mind. Okay, so what you can do if you don't have a tofu press and you don't want to spend money on one, you don't have to, okay? And you don't have to eat tofu, okay? My aunt texted me, and I'm so proud of her. She's switched to a plant-based diet. She's lost some weight. She's feeling so good. It's a hard thing to do. So if you are doing that, I'm really, really proud of you. It's so great. So if you don't like tofu, it's okay. You do not have to eat it. I personally love it. My husband loves it. It is good for you. You are not going to grow a third eye or a third boob. Like, it's okay to eat tofu. Soy is fine, okay? But what you do is you just wrap it in a paper towel. I totally just unwrapped this before showing you. Wrap it in a paper towel, put it on a plate, and then put something heavy on top of it and let it sit for like 10 to 15 minutes. And it won't be as good as a tofu press, but it is good enough, okay? And then if you freeze it, one of the I think it was Vegan Punks that I follow, they freeze it and then thaw it and then freeze it again, which I thought was weird, but they swear by that. I have not done that yet. Just freezing it once and then thawing it made it good. So I gotta try the double freeze. But I'm just gonna cut this up, put it in my air fryer. My husband really likes it all crispy, and then I think I'll just top the casserole with that. So that'll be good. Okay. I thought I would show you how I cut up my tofu, and it's really hard on YouTube to have like a screen where it like fits everything when you're in a tight space. So here's my tofu, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hold it like this. I'm gonna cut it this way first, then I'm gonna slice it in half, or you could do this first. You could slice it in half and then slice this way, and then I go this way, and then it comes out into perfect little cubes. Look, you can see they're little in size. The other thing you're gonna wanna do is use extra firm tofu for something like this, because it holds up the best. If you use silken tofu, it's going to fall apart. You wanna use the silken tofu for like dressings or ice cream or something like that, where it's gonna be blended and really smooth into soups and stuff. But firm or extra firm tofu is the best for air frying or grilling or something like that. This is my air fryer. I have a Brayville air fryer. I absolutely love it. I have rarely used my oven since I got it. And you can do all these things on it. And I'm gonna set this to air fryer, and I'm gonna move the time up to 20 minutes. And then it has to heat up, so you just hit that. And this is so great. I make my potatoes because I make, I eat potatoes almost every day. And I cook my potatoes in this every day unless I'm pressure cooking them. They turn out perfect every time. My kids make toast. We make frozen pizza. I do not try to put meat in it. So like if my family is eating something like that, I make them use my pressure cooker. Fryer is a great investment. I highly recommend that you get one. Because it cuts my cooking time down. It's just easy. I can roast veggies in it, do toast, do bagels, potatoes. I would say mainly what I use it for is potatoes, hash browns, tofu. There's no cleanup really because you're cooking with plants. So the cleanup is really, really easy. But I love one. So I'll put the description below. I have also had the Ninja. When we traveled full-time in our RV, I had the Ninja like flip up one. I can't exactly remember what it's called, but I will put that down there too. I loved that. That's great if you have a small space. The one drawback to that is the opening was pretty small, but it also dehydrates. So I love to dehydrate stuff. So that's really cool. But anyway, it's totally worth getting a what am I talking about? An air fryer. Now I'm going to put my broccoli in my NAD dish. So if you've watched me for any time or seen my Instagram, you know that I use the NAD dish for everything, mainly my broccoli, because you put it in this dish and cook for 5 minutes and it comes out perfect like every single time. I'm not even joking, like every time. So what I do is I break my broccoli up. If you're not a big fan of broccoli, I found that my air fryer's done. I found that I don't like them big. So I just, over the bowl, just kind of pull them apart so they're littler pieces. And then if there's stalks left over, I just set them aside. But I've noticed if I have my broccoli in small pieces, I will eat it. I also have to add a sauce. So Credo sauce, you can check my Instagram highlights. I have all the sauces I like on there. The Credo queso sauce I use and the Japanese barbecue sauce I use almost every day. But I am eating a lot of broccoli. I did not like broccoli for a long time, mainly because I could not cook it right. But this any day dish has really solved that for me. So if you are like me and had a problem with that, you might check those out. I'll put a link in the description below. I have like a ton of them. And if you're a meat eater or your family eats meat or fish or whatever, I have cooked salmon in the any day dish, and it does not stink up your house. Like it's wicked magic. I don't know how it works. And then I also have cooked chicken thighs. And it comes, I'll show you, it comes with a recipe book. I think I ordered this one separately when I ordered my other dishes, but it has like how to cook like everything, and their website is an awesome resource. And so if you or your family eats meat, these are also a really great dish. My stepmother-in-law got me started on these. And she's like a pro. She's like, I cook a full meal in one dish. So you will get hooked on it if you buy one. I mainly use it now for veggies. I've cooked oatmeal in it. You can cook pasta. You just throw the noodles in, leave the lid off, and put it in the microwave for 12 minutes. And your pasta comes out perfect. It's such a time saver. And if you RV or camp, like in a motorhome, like I do, and you don't have a lot of room for dishes and stuff, these NAD dishes are a lifesaver because you can just, if you have power or a generator, you can just load them up and use them in your RV. So I highly recommend them. I have a link in the description. All right, so I have all my broccoli in here. Put the lid on. You want to keep this knob up because that's what vents. You do not add water. You just put the lid on with the vent up and put it in the microwave for 5 minutes. This is like the taller, smaller dish. There's also like a shorter, wider dish. I use both and it works out great. So broccoli in 5 minutes. Here is the casserole. I just took it out of the oven. You guys, this is so good. The farro is so good. The zucchini and asparagus. I would say just dump whatever veggies you have in. Chickpeas, cauliflower. Totally an easy, like tasty dinner. It needs to sit here for 10 minutes. So I'm going to throw my broccoli in, and I've got my tofu. It's all done. I just have it sitting in here resting, and I'm just going to kind of put that on the top when I plate it up. Looks so good. So dinner is ready, and I have my plate here of broccoli on my one side with Plentiful Kiki's Ranch. And then on this side, I have the casserole, and I added a little bit of tofu, and it's going to be delicious. Thanks for tuning in this week. I hope you enjoyed cooking with me and seeing how I food prep. And I cannot believe that next week starts week 8 of my Starch Solution journey. I have just a month left, and I can't believe it. The time has flown by. So I really appreciate you being here and watching my videos. Please make sure to hit subscribe below so you don't miss any of my new videos coming out. And also make sure to follow me on Instagram so you can see all of my daily shenanigans with the Starch Solution journey. Thanks so much. I'll see you in the next video.